Once upon a time, there was a wonderful school in Prince George's County built especially for black students. Tucked away in rolling farmland, the school attracted youngsters from miles away, students who bore the rigors of travel and the indignity of segregation for a chance at the American dream.
I remember just how far we've come. I graduated in '42. And I think I probably was the second member of my family, my immediate family, to graduate from high school. There just wasn't a high school for the black people here in Prince George's County. But then they decided to bus us here from Bowie.
The graduates of Highland Park High School pride themselves on being part of a history that began in 1928. And while they've seen their school rise and fall and almost disappear over the years, they are cheering today for a Highland Park that has been born again. The new Highland Park Elementary School is a building with a makeover and a memory. The children today who delight in all the sparkle and energy of their new school are also surrounded by reminders that theirs is a school that was almost lost. Of the 23 all-black schools in Prince George's County started by philanthropist Julius Rosenwald in the 1920s, Highland Park is one of the few survivors.
The Rosenwald program was specifically aimed at improving education for African American students in the rural South. Of our 23, there are 9 still standing, but Highland Park is the only one which is still used as a school by the Prince George's County Public Schools. A few others are still owned by the public schools, but are no longer in use as school buildings. It's also one of the most substantial. Rosenwald put out catalogs of school plans and had very specific recommendations on how these schools should be built for the benefit of the children, even to the colors of the interior paints so that light would be reflected to best advantage because most of the schools had no electricity. And the banks of windows, which brought in lots of natural light.
After evolving from a high school, then to a junior high, and then an elementary over 45 years, Highland Park's doors were closed in 1973 when a court order sent its students packing in the name of racial balance. The building languished on for years as an office and a Head Start center, but its graduates ached to see children there once again. When all seemed lost in 1993 as a wrecking ball took aim, the Highland Park alumni rallied and succeeded in having their school declared an official historic site. The struggle from there to its rebirth as a school was spearheaded by a member of the class of 1939, a man whose name has become synonymous with Highland Park.
I can't tell you how much this man has done in this building. But he's here every day, and if he's not here, he gets phone calls here. We look out the door, he's here, hold on a minute, let me go page Mr. Martin. That kind of dedication is unsurpassed anywhere. This certificate can in no way measure up to what he has done for us, but I'd like to present him with the certificate on behalf of the Highland Park staff and Dr. Matt. Thank you.
I did it because my father fought so hard to get the school here. And it's back, and we hope that it'll last forever.
But for all their joy at Highland Park's rebirth, Clem Martin and his alumni group still cling to nostalgic memories of a place where they arrived as strangers and left as friends for life, that come from across the county and around the corner. By train, by bus, and on foot, the youngsters made their way to a school that offered big dreams, if only in small doses.
We went to downtown to rent the tux for the prom. And we told the girl that we had 3 boys in the class. And she called everybody in the store to tell them that this was a high school and the graduation class was 7.
Jim and I, we've been married 59 years, going on 60. And we often sit down and talk with these in Highland Park and how we enjoyed it, and all our friends. I was glad to join this class, the alumni class, and so that we can get together, see our old friends again.
It was 6 miles from my house to Highland Park, and I have walked it through snow and rain and good weather. We had one of the seniors drove, but his car was always inoperable, either spare tire, no gas, or not running.
At the time, we were bused to this area from Lincoln and all the other areas. And as the conveniences are now, to the door with the buses, we had to walk almost a mile to the bus stop. So my happiest time was when I was able to get this diploma and stop that walking and stay at home.
Just as their students marvel at the changes, the teachers too from those early days would no doubt be astounded at what technology has wrought and how discipline has changed.
I remember one time, the only time I can really remember is when I was in Miss Agnes Edwards' math class. And everybody was kind of showing off, and she said she would take her book and throw it and knock you out the chair and take her little 2x4 salary and pay for it. Now, I always remember that.
There was an institution known as the strap. If you were subjected to the strap, if there were 2 people involved, then the strap was administered by your buddy.
Like most boys my age in high school, I had a mirror thing where I would put on my foot, naughty, naughty, to not get the attention of teachers, but to do things that I wasn't supposed to do. And I got caught several times, slapped, or hit with the ruler.
The original Highland Park provided 11 years of focused and very practical instruction. In addition to the standard 3 R's, sports and home economics sewed up a lot of affection.
We didn't have football. The budget, the county budget wouldn't allow that, I suppose. But we had soccer, basketball, and track, in which I was a medalist.
We had track meets with the 2 other high schools, and I would, whenever the time came for a track meet, I would be out there strutting my stuff with my little bow legs, doing my best for good old Highland Park.
I remember Mrs. Artie Bell, the home economics teacher, teaching the girls in my class how to make a class dress. And our colors were blue and white, sort of like what I'm wearing today.
When I got in service, I realized that a lot of things that were taught in home ecs came about, like sewing, cooking, and whatnot. And that was, I always remember her because of that, because if we hadn't went to home ec, we would never learn that.
Highland Park, the building, has changed over the years, and it continues to reinvent itself for the new millennium. But Highland Park, the spirit, seems always to have remained the same, especially in the hearts of those who started it all. For them, the school is a symbol of all they represent and all they hope the next generations will be.
Even though all of this is so brand new, I just feel that it's connected in such a historical way to the actual building that I spent so much of my childhood days with. And I'm happy for that.
My kids went to school here, my wife taught here, and my grandchildren are coming here now, great-grand. I hope the great-grand that's in Maine will come back here and be a part of it.